about our forthcoming road construction show that we are doing, which is called Rasta. So Rasta
Yes.
stands for Roads and Highways, Sustainable Technologies and Advancements. So can I just share my screen?
Please. Wow.
Yeah, so that's Rasta, Roads and Highways. It's an acronym. Uh, and it is being held on the 9th and 10th of October at the Geo Exhibition Convention Center in Mumbai. So it's like I said, it's an acronym, and obviously we are focusing on roads because not only has the national infrastructure pipeline allotted a big chunk for this, our budget has also continued to step up on this. And I think given the fact that the awards, road awards have been less last year, this year the government really needs to step up. I think importantly, materials are equally important other than equipment and technologies, and that's where this show is going to be unique and different because it's going to provide the full range of uh, stakeholders for road construction, whether it be material, technologies, equipment, products, all for road construction. So this is a 2-day event at the Geo, and we have a road conference for 2 days. We have the 22nd Construction World Global Awards, which we are again holding with ENR magazine from New York, Engineering News Record, and as per their list, we invite and felicitate several global engineering firms. Then we have the Equipment India Awards, 12th Equipment India Awards on the October 10th. And we have the Rasta Expo happening on both these days. So there are, the National Highway Authority of India is one of the supporters, along with National Highway Builders Federation, BRO, Ministry of Commerce. These are some of the organizations that are supporting us. Then, of course, we have MSRDC and MSIDC from Maharashtra, who are now very critical as far as road business is concerned, because MSIDC has got nearly a project of worth 42,000 crores, which has been sanctioned recently. That connects your all the hinterland of Maharashtra to the Samruddhi Marg, the Mumbai-Nagpur Expressway. It is all the network of roads which is going to connect the hinterland of Maharashtra to this entire expressway is going to be built, for which funding has already been arranged by MSIDC. MSRDC, of course, is doing the Versova-Virar link road and then forward to Virar-Alibag corridor. So big projects going on there as well. Bharatmala is supposed to complete by next year end. It has slowed down, and I think the government is focusing on access controlled expressways, for which 50,000 crores has been allotted in the budget. We have, so like I said, product manufacturers other than the equipment technology guys. So geospatial or drone or BIM, all kinds of technology companies, also digital twin will also participate other than equipment and material manufacturers. And of course, the visitors are going to be a lot from the people who attend our awards, our conferences, but a whole lot of others from the authorities. There is nomination for awards going on. So, those who just simply want to see whether their projects can just visit rastaexpo.com and nominate. There are multiple, around 15 categories under which companies can nominate themselves. It can be in projects of roads, it can be in CSR, it can be in green construction. Several categories are there. Please visit and please share it amongst your chat groups. So that's the booking contact, which you can probably just screenshot if at all. That's it from me. Yeah. Thank you for listening in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's virtual panel discussion on building the future, skilling for success in the construction equipment industry. This insightful discussion is organized by the First Construction Council in collaboration with Construction World and Equipment India magazines. Our panel today includes a group of esteemed experts who bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table. But before we dive into the discussion, let me introduce our moderator, who will guide us through today's conversation. Yeah. So it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. S.P. Rajan, who is Vice President and Head of Plant and Machinery at L&T Construction. He will be moderating this session. Mr. S.P. Rajan is a mechanical engineer and is associated with construction industry since 35 years. He is currently heading Competency Center involving functions like plant and machinery, MEP, AGL, precast, erection, and fabrication functions of RBF business unit. He has been part of teams involved in many firsts in the construction industry. To name a few, he has been part of world record bituminous concrete laying of 112 lane kilometer in 100 hours. He has been part of first mechanized concrete road paving in India for the Mumbai-Pune Expressway project. He has been part of first sub-zero construction in India, the Kargil hydro power projects, where cold weather operations were up to minus 40 degrees. He has been part of first large TBM in India. He has been part of first 3D solutioning on construction equipment. He has been part of first solar captive power plants for construction power and so on. Mr. Rajan has been part of all segments of construction industry like roads, high-rise buildings, tunnels, and offshore projects. Mr. Rajan will be leading today's panel discussion and ensuring that we cover the key issues and insights relevant to skilling and future success in the construction equipment industry. Now I invite esteemed panelists for the discussion. Our first panelist is Mr. Vijay Kumar, who is the CEO of Infrastructure Equipment Skill Council. Mr. Vijay Kumar was also the head of external affairs at Tata Hitachi and CSR. His recent assignments include head customer support and before that, the head of marketing and distribution at Tata Hitachi. His role involved managing the wide product portfolio of the company, which includes a range of hydraulic excavators and wheeled products, handling the distribution network strategy and business planning, marketing communications, and market research, among others. With an honors degree in mechanical engineering and a postgraduate certificate in management from IIM Kolkata, Mr. Vijay Kumar has over 30 years of experience in the construction equipment industry. His earlier roles include handling sales assignments across the country, a stint as head of agency products imports, and head of exports and product management. He has been with Tata Hitachi from the start of his career, except for a brief stint abroad, and has seen the evolution of the company from being a manufacturer of friction cranes and shovels to being the consistent and clear market leader in hydraulic excavators, despite the dramatic changes in the competitive landscape. Our next panelist is Mr. S. Bhaskar Babu, who is Senior Vice President, Training and Corporate Communications at Schwingstetter India. Mr. Bhaskar Babu is a seasoned professional with over 3 decades of experience in the construction equipment industry. He holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the Government College of Engineering. Throughout his career, he has been deeply involved in various facets of the industry, particularly focusing on training and development, service sector, and marketing services. He began his career with L&T Komatsu, where he honed his skills in training and service sector. For the past 23 years, he has been an integral part of Swing Setter India, contributing significantly in different roles, primarily in training and development. Over time, he diversified his expertise into marketing services, playing a pivotal role in enhancing Swing Setter India's digital presence through comprehensive in-house digital marketing initiatives, including social media management, Swing Setter India portal management, and lead management. Additionally, he spearheads corporate communications, ensuring effective communication with customers, employees, and other stakeholders of Swing Setter India. Our next panelist is Mr. Amol Sinha, who is Director, Product and Training at TEDx India. In his 25 plus years of experience, Mr. Sinha has been very actively involved in application, product development, and training of customers for proper operation of crushing, screening, washing, and recycling. He started his career with Terex in 2013 as sales manager for Terex Washing Systems business. In 2022, he assumed the role of Director of Product and Training for Terex offerings in India. He is also in charge of new product development and marketing. Mr. Sinha graduated with a Bachelor of Technology in Mining Machinery from IIT ISM Dhanbad. Before joining TEDx, he worked in various companies such as Ambuja Cement, Jimco, and Mitsui. Our next panelist is Mr. Andre Gaikolo, who is the CEO of MyCranes, a former commercial director in the heavy lift and cargo sector. Mr. Andre Gaikolo is passionate about cranes. His main area of interest is digitalization. His current entrepreneurial focus is MyCrane, the world's first digital platform for online crane rental, which is headquartered in the UAE. Our next panelist is Mr. H.S. Mohan, who is the ex-CEO of Infrastructure Equipment Skill Council. Under his leadership, IESC has moved swiftly and has been able to develop 39 qualification packs approved by the Government of India, covering highway equipment, construction, mining, real estate, leasing, and material handling equipment for operators and mechanics. Mr. Mohan has an experience of over 47 years in the same industry in senior positions. He began his career as a trainee in Heavy Engineering Group and thereafter joined JCB and rose to the position of General Manager and Business Head, and then moved to Pune to head JCB Heavy Lines operations at Pune plant. He worked as Chief Operating Officer for the Korean major Doosan Infracore Equipments, heading India operations. He has to his credit of setting up portable power plant in Bangalore. He had a short stint as Executive Director in a multinational Vectra group of companies. Our last panelist is Mr. Ratanlal Kashyap, who is the President of Supply Chain Management at Dinesh Chandra Agarwal Infracon. At Dinesh Chandra R Infracon, Mr. Kashyap provides overall strategic, tactical, and operational direction and support to the organization to support best cost strategy. Before joining Dinesh Chandra R Agarwal Group, Mr. Kashyap has worked with Welspun Enterprises, GR Infra Projects, Pink City Expressway, Oriental Structural Engineers, JMC Projects, Hindustan Construction, and many more. Without further ado, I hand over the session to Mr. S.P. Rajan. I request each panelist to not take more than 2 to 3 minutes to answer each question. Over to you, Mr. Rajan.
Thank you, Karthik. Good evening, distinguished panelists and esteemed audience. I'm really honored to welcome you all to this crucial discussion on skilling for construction and engineering industry. With considerable time spent in this sector, I witnessed a very great transformation of skilled workforce in shaping the nation's infrastructure landscape. India, with its ambitious growth trajectory, is embarking on major mega projects that were once deemed impossible. From the majestic Statue of Unity to the intricate engineering marvel of Mumbai Trans-Harbour Link, our nation is setting global benchmark These endeavors are not just engineering feats, but they are proof of our potential of our skilled workforce, the workforce that is still part of an unorganized sector and at the same time backbone of our construction industry. By investing in training and developing these people, we can not only enhance their employability, but also drive significant productivity. The infusion of technology has further accelerated the learning curve, empowering workers to acquire new skills rapidly. This in turn translates to cost-effective project execution and adherence to stringent timelines. Our journey to becoming a global construction powerhouse is no doubt linked to the skill of our workforce. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, we have with us our eminent speakers whose introduction you just now had. So today, with the presence of this distinguished panel, we have an opportunity to dive deeper into the challenges and solutions, explore innovative training methodologies, and chart a roadmap for creating a future-ready workshop, or future-ready workforce, in fact. So I'm confident this panel discussion will spark insightful conversations and provide invaluable insights that will contribute to the growth and development of our industry. So let's embark on this journey together to shape a skilled India, a prosperous India. Thank you. So with this short introduction on our subject, I'd like to invite Mr. Vijay Kumar, the CEO of Infrastructure Equipment Skill Council. He's been doing a great job. Well, he's the master of skilled workforce over here. And, he can't be, there can't be a better person than him to begin this particular discussion. So, Mr. Vijay Kumar, here is the question to you. How has the Infrastructure Equipment Skill Council been addressing the skill gap in construction equipment industry? And what new initiatives is IESC, the institution you head, is planning to introduce to enhance the training and certification of operators and technicians? Can you share your views, please?
Thank you, Mr. Rajan. It's a great opening question to set the tone of the rest of the discussion. I think just to put the challenge into some perspective, so we have on an average about 100,000 equipment of all types sold in the market every year in India. And in fact, last year was an exception. The number actually grew from an average 100,000 to 136,000. So if you take an average of 1 lakh equipment sold every year, even accounting for 2 operators per equipment, we need 2 lakh operators for these equipment, plus even accounting for 1 technician for every 15 machines, a whole lot of technicians are required to maintain these equipment. So the challenge now is how to get these people, these operators who learn through the non-traditional routes, which means they are basically helpers to the existing operator. They learn on the job and pick up some skills, but they're not formally trained. Now, because they're not formally trained and certified, there are many other softer skills or softer aspects of the equipment operation that get missed out. So our fundamental effort is to bring in these people into the fold of our skilling, assessment and certification process, whereby it is not just the operation of the machine, but he is also instructed on how to do basic safety checks, pre-checks on the equipment, operate the equipment, do some basic troubleshooting on the equipment, be aware of safety and environment concerns as well. And lately also we brought in an element of employability skills, which include soft skills like basic levels of computer literacy, financial literacy, communication skills, etc. So he's a more well-rounded individual and he's able to get the best out of the equipment. So when compared to the equipment that we had 20 years ago to now, there has been a lot of cutting edge technology that has been brought into the equipment by way of onboard computers, telematics systems, IoT and so on. multiple fuel saving devices on the machines. You select the mode of operation, etc. So if he is instructed through an upskilling package or a program, then he gets the maximum out of the equipment, and thereby the operator of the equipment, the owner of the equipment, as well as the manufacturer, realizes the full potential of the equipment. So if you are a project manager and if your equipment is working at full tilt, full capacity, giving optimum outputs, project timelines can be cut down, safety issues can be addressed, economies can be affected through fuel saving, durability of the equipment can be improved. So trying to stick to my 3-minute timeline. In short, this is the way we look at the challenge, and maybe in future, in later questions, I can address deeper how we go about addressing this in detail.
First time in my life I've heard about financial literacy to workmen. That's a very rare phenomenon, sir. I think you will do wonders with this. I think I'll just address Mr. H.S. Mohan, who was the founder of this particular very institution, what Mr. Vijay Kumar is now heading. Sir, here the question to you: how important is it for the industry to collaborate with educational institutions to develop a pipeline of skilled workers?
Good afternoon to you, sir, and rest of the members. Sir, this is extremely important. I know it's, see, Vijay spoke about the overall activities and then the policies that they are looking at and how to bring the people. The best part of the thing is that, the mobilization of these candidates, whoever the student, whoever is concerned, has been a biggest drawback in the system so far. We have not been able to get, the people whom we approach and then we want them to join this, skill training. For that, what has happened is that, time and again, and, we are going through the ITIs, the diploma holders, or the 10th pass people in approaching them, having meetings with most of the ITI people, majority of them, putting these people into the system, so that, this is what happens to you. This is exactly the growth that you look at it for your job prospects, learnings, and where you will be next, in terms of the grades or whatever it comes in. The NSDC, NSQC has got a formula that if anybody reaches a level of NSQ of level 7 under the training, all these people need to be, treated as a graduates. Whatever the benefit that is given to a graduate, that needs to be given to them. This has been a continuous ongoing exercise which is still going on. Last week also I was doing something for the Jaipur at the ITI people. But the most critical part is that, the evolution of IT, IT industry, more of the people, are interested in the white collar job and then the blue collar job today. And that is one part of the thing. Second is that, if you look at the minimum wage, the government is giving it to them in terms of their earnings per day within the family. Most of the people find it that, the family as a whole, they are earning better than what they can, so their standard of living is quite sustainable. The recruitment for these jobs comes into the picture. They definitely come in there, but end of the day, people skip the, while training itself. That's what the part of it. We are not being able to establish or attract the people into the system where they really get in there. End of the day, they feel that, this is my career that I want. That stage has not come, sir. It has definitely not come. It requires a lot of maturity across. Especially the main candidates for us is the ITIs. That's a big part because we find them completely suitable for the next level of job they can go across. That is where we are approaching it. It has been going on, but a success story has to come. It has to be built up. And there is no mandating of operators in the industry. That's another part which is there. Skilled operators or mechanics. That's also another gap is there. So that the most of the people also other way find that the certificate given by the OEMs, like for example, Swing Setter or JCB or Hitachi, that certificate itself holds good. Why should I go through the IESC route? Whereas IESC has got a far more better approach to the job that is concerned. There is still a long way to go on this, sir. And we are still evolving in the system. That's what it is.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Actually, as in overseas, we have to have some kind of plant operator certification and things like that. So certainly, we understand how the institutions will play a vital role. And also your level 7 insight is something new, and I hope the industry will follow that. Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Mohan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Bhaskar Babu, you've been doing an amazing work. Like the company just does not end with or stop with selling the equipment, but it also contributes to the industry by setting up a fantastic skill training center, so skill development center. So here is the question to you, Mr. Bhaskar Babu. How does Schwingstetter India integrate skill development into its corporate strategy for employees and partners?
Good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Rajan and First Construction Council. Responding to your question, Schwingstetter India places a significant emphasis on skill development as a core component in its corporate strategy itself, which can be seen in our vision and mission statement, both for its employees and external partners, which includes our customers and also our vendors, the suppliers. So the main thing is that Schwingstetter India will supply the best reliable equipment from its factory and then provide excellent after-sale support, which after-sale support is skilling their existing operators, their technician and mechanics, and also provide fresh candidates trained and certified by Schwing and in conjunction with IESC, which is the nodal agency for CE equipment training certification at present. Normally, as a manufacturing unit for the employees, when I say what happens in the skilling side, our manufacturing side, predominantly our area of activity is fabrication, which involves complex welding procedures. So with this in mind, Schwingstetter has set up a world-class training institute in Cheyyar factory, which is accredited by the Government of India also. This institute boasts world-class practical labs along with welding simulators, many welding simulators, which the trainees, the new joiners, or even the existing welders undergo rigorous training, get evaluated, certified for shop floor worthiness, because this is our core activity. So we really take care that quality welders are being there in the shop floor. And in fact, senior welders and managers who are further trained at the Welding Institute at Duisburg, which is in Austria, in advanced welding technology. Apart from this, the shop floor machinists and assembly technicians, whether they are fresher DETs or existing workmen, they undergo training in the operation of the machineries by the OEM supplier periodically. The assembly line technician, as part of the skilling inventory, are sent to our headquarters in Herne, Germany for training in new assembly technology. So these are some of the training activities that we do in our Cheyyar factory. And since the Cheyyar manufacturing unit is a smart manufacturing unit, the workmen's skill levels and their are being monitored visually and analytically through smart system incorporated in the shop floor itself, and course corrections are taken then and there itself. And the skilling activities, these skilling activities are done by the training department headed by me. And we also take a pool of shop floor champions who excel in the respective field, and we can jointly do the training program for this. Apart from this, for the shop floor employees, we have a range of training programs which are tailored to various roles and skill levels of the organization. As usual, these programs consist of technical, product knowledge, safety protocols, soft skill, and so on. But apart from this, we also concentrate on career pathing and advancement for these people. The company actively encourages the employee growth and development by providing opportunities for the career advancement. I would like to mention here one of the popular initiative taken by Schwingstetter India is that initiative called Earn and Learn while you learn, program. What has happened is Schwing mostly takes DETs for its shop floor activities. Now, these DETs, while they are entering as a trainee and get trained in the shop floor, Schwingstatter India offers an opportunity for them to become a full-fledged graduate engineer trainee. Graduate engineer. So for this activity, we have tied up with the VIT, one of the premier engineering colleges in India, and we have entered into an MOU with them to give classes at our factory twice in a week, and then conduct exam and certify these DETs just like a regular BE candidates. And if they come out successfully, they can even look for a better job prospects even outside the company if they choose to do so. So this is one popular initiative taken for encouraging further studies by the employees. Now, coming to the customers, I think you must be already, many of you must be aware that it is evident that Schwingstatter equipment, while being reliable, robust, it needs to be really operated by some skilled operators and technicians to take care of its operation and maintenance due to the advanced technology incorporated in some of our equipment like concrete batching plants, concrete boom pumps and SLMs. So we have taken many initiatives, and one of them is the operator training school, which we established in 2005 itself. We started training fresh candidates, made them into an full-fledged operator within 3 months and offered them as operators to our customers. So this is one successful activity. It has been going on for the past 10-15 years. And we have given many operators across the country who are working in our all our equipment. Just for giving a number, we have so far trained some 3,000 operators in various trades, and all of them are employed with our customer, especially many of them are employed with L&T also. So this is one big activity that we are doing. And we have also done a lot of skill assessment in conjunction with the IESC. We have done some 4,300 skill assessment for the various people in the equipment sector. Also, we have done some special skill assessment for L&T. 300 operators of L&T has been assessed by us for their worthiness and certified. So these are some of the activities that we do. Apart from that, we also have entered MOUs with several state government, skill government corporations such as Tamil Nadu Skill Development, Assam Skill Development Corporation, Uttarakhand, and recently we are entering an MOU with Rajasthan Skill Development Mission to skill the unemployed youth or the youth who have just in their colleges to get trained in our equipment and find job opportunities for them. So this is also train our vendors also so that they can become our green channel partners, and totally we have a complete set of skill assessment tools incorporated into our system so that everybody benefits and the company benefits out of it.
That's a great thing. That's very great. That's really great. Like, you're given a 360-degree view, and I know if time is given, you'll have a big list to share with us. Okay, so it's very amazing. You are making our Prime Minister's dream come true, right? We are the partners. I also had been to your factory, and I know the value, I know the quality of that particular welding setup over there. Well, thank you, Mr. Bhaskar Babu. Mr. Amol, Terex is such a large organization, very well known in the world. And every now and then, this company keeps acquiring some company or the other. So the biggest challenge for you is going to be, or it will always be the skill development.
Yeah.
So the question to you here is, how does Terex India approach training and development for its workforce, particularly in relation to the new products? what are the most critical skills that you believe need to be developed to keep pace with innovations in construction equipment? Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Sir, thank you for acknowledging that your TEDx is an organization which is very vital. We are constantly launching new products within the existing brands, and also we are acquiring new brands. So we are able to launch more and more products, very well-known products overseas in India. Like one of them, the latest one will be Pro-All mixtures in concrete segment. So yes, this does pose a very big challenge to make the whole workforce well aware about the products. So that, keeping that in mind, we have a very well coded a dedicated program for familiarization of the product to each and every one. And the new product development, the function which I also happen to manage, is we have clearly started a process within that process that a communication will be given out to all the people to come, and a process will training program will be conducted to make it familiarized to different level. A service level people will be given training as per the serviceability. Engineers will be given training as per the development. So even sourcing people will be given training on the new component which are being used. So we have a well-coded program so to make this awareness of a new product we are launching. So you can very well say that the training is part of a DNA of a TEDx to manage this. And we also most of the time we have to launch products and we transfer those products from overseas. So we send out a team to to go visit the sites where these are manufactured, learn the process of manufacturing, the correct steps of the procedure, learn the not just the manufacturing, but also see these machines working in their respective field to understand what is the correct operation, sequence of operation, so that they can come back and train the rest of the team. And and whenever we are dealing with any new component, we had a clear discussion with the vendor that they have to give us a full training program also to make the skill of our people to that level, so that the machine is well prepared and the people are well prepared to handle the models immediately as soon as they are launched. And then the next part of the question, what are the most critical skills? So I will say that I will classify it into two different segments. Is like one is the engineering. So it will be for the people who are developing the machine, and next set will be for the people who will be operating. Next set of training. So engineering skills, most of the modern technology, upcoming things like telematics, Internet of Things is part of the know-how they should have. Then we are seeing a lot of upcoming trend is that machines are more mobile. These mobile machines are becoming electrified. So electric mobility training, knowledge about electric mobility is there. Knowledge about power electronics, because now they are no more 24-volt or 12-volt systems. Now they are running on 220-volt systems in a mobile machine, which is again a new field. So training on power electronics is required. Then there's we are also taking up that all of our engineers should be skilled enough to do FEA, finite element analysis, to make the machines more reliable. And so that's one of the skill. This is a traditional skill, but still very, very relevant. And then since many of our machines are being exported from India to overseas, and they are involved in either they are roadable or they are involved with lifting. So our engineers also need to be skilled, very well versed about the roadability guidelines and safety regulations of the different countries. So that's another challenge. And now in coming for the safe operations, we have developed full training on the application and safe application of the machines and the safety guidelines around the machines.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
Sure.
The electrical mobility and power electronics and FEA, all these things sound a little bit, new to the present environment. And yes, we could understand how you are really bringing the team at par with what's happening in the industry. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. By the way, we all think that skill means it's just to do with the skill of the operators or skill of the engineers and things like that. But here goes one question to Mr. Ratanlal Kashyap. the authority on SCM management in construction industry. Sir, it's to you. What role does skill development play in optimizing supply chain processes within the construction industry? And how does your company ensure that its supply chain management team is well equipped with necessary skills to handle the demands of the large infrastructure projects? Some insights from you, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Normally, this is an industry. It has been evolving very fast. So if you to look at my career path, if you look, I'm the industry we're in now. So you see a category of companies A, B, C, D. So I consider L&T as a category. So companies like doing around 10,000 crores B category, and then companies doing around say 5,000, 3,000 crores as C category. So these companies, when they are growing, so what I've seen now growing through a path, so the business requirement of getting into systems, getting good manpower, getting good equipment, getting systems is very challenging. So as a supply chain man, what I've seen, this skill set requirement gradually when the company grows to a level. So if you look at my last stint of say GR Infra, so growing from 700 crores to 8,000 crores, 9,000 crores, actually it's a transition. So similarly, I see a lot of such companies which are into this sphere today. There's a big transition happening. So the requirement of requirement of skilled manpower is very essential today, because we are almost handling around 60% of the spend of the total company's turnover. So it's a very crucial field where starting from a point to raising an RFQ, understanding the requirement, to doing a forward and reverse auction in the system, and then going forward, releasing the order and doing a lot of a negotiation. So the skill set requirement on this industry has been very crucial, and the demand is very high now. So if you look at the diversity of the business which a company is handling today, like especially companies like us who are into solar, who are into bullet train, you are into metros, you are into water, you are into, a lot of such working overseas. So the requirement of skilled manpower is very crucial for us. So understanding of the tax, understanding of the financial instruments, understanding of the negotiation tools, understanding and integrating B2B business integrations happening in this industry. So let me tell you, this skill set requirement in this industry is very high. Because you are spending the company's money, you are always on the management side. So to elaborate more, you can tell like the skill set requirement today in this industry is not very prominent, because you have to pick and choose people, train them, make them understand. Because today it is more like a departmentalization, like somebody who's handling electrical has to be a very core man of electrical. So somebody who is handling the mechanical purchase has to be a core man of mechanical. So that is how now we are trying to get in a lot of GETs and people from various colleges, and trying to train them into systems, trying to train them into sending them to the factories and making them understand as of how the industry works. And what is the actually when you negotiate for a thing, you should have a proper understanding and have a prior knowledge of what you're buying actually. This is how, supply chain has a very crucial, department today. You can say we are one of the heart of a company, having working as a support function, but yes, very crucial for the company.
Very true, very true. The 60%, when you say 60% of the project cost involves material, what other function it can? It's the backbone, no doubt about it. And thank you very much, Mr. Ratan Rao. Well, here is our hero, Mr. Andre Gecko. How are you? Yes.
Hello,
So,
thank you, I'm fine.
Thank you for joining us. And I believe this entire team will gain from your international experience. So here is the question to you, Mr. Andre. How is MyCrane contributing to the booming infrastructure development? Also, can you talk about any initiatives MyCrane has undertaken to contribute to skill development and training within the crane rental market? Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, dear professionals. Hello. Yes, as Mr. Karthik told, MyCrane is the first global platform for online crane rental. Basically, we are dealing with all types of lifting machinery, which is quite a big part of these 1,000 machines which are being important when we are talking about India. And demand for safety in the lifting sector is one of the highest. So while my crane does not directly hire crane operators, we recognize our responsibility to ensure that the suppliers on our platform are well equipped to meet the industry skill and safety demands. To this end, MyCrane has launched several initiatives aimed at supporting suppliers in their skill development efforts. We provide comprehensive training materials, industry guidelines, and best practices documentation to our suppliers, ensuring they can continuously develop the skills of their operators. We also collaborate with the industry experts to create up-to-date resources that help suppliers align their training programs with the latest standards in the crane operation and safety. And this, Mr. Rajan, you told very good point about our global footprint. We have a possibility to share the best practices from other countries where it can be more developed in certain way. So we are trying to use this global footprint to increase these standards in other industries, in other countries. With the platform growing, we will be able to contribute even more. It seems like basically MyCrane is Uber for cranes. Uber, it's a taxi platform. So the rating system, which we also have implemented at MyCrane, same like in taxi business, this will be one of the main motivation for suppliers to increase their safety and performance standards, because the world becomes transparent with MyCrane, and you cannot hide anymore that you did a bad job with one client and you can jump to another one. So the second client will know what you did at the first job. And this is the transparency which the industry is lacking. So by bringing this, we believe we will contribute to this sector a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. So, I think days are not far away before we use our mobiles to ask for cranes. Thank you very much.
Mr. Rajan, I can even tell you, basically, in India, L&T is one of our biggest customers. Your company is also using our platform in Saudi Arabia and Middle East. And it is already the case. It's not the future. It is already today. In India, we have more than 500 crane companies already joined us. And most of the verticals of L&T are using the platform already, from hydrocarbon to construction part. So this is already reality, but not future.
Thank you, Andrea, and welcome to the club. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Mohan, you're the senior most among us. So this particular question will be very interesting to you. What do you see, sir, as the key future trends in skilling industry, particularly, that industry stakeholders need to prepare for?
Oh, excellent, sir. Excellent. Sir, I'll just go back for a few part of it and then answer your question. I was invited by USA to do a, the finance was done for two of the metro rail project in Vizag and Ajmer by one of the authorities, in the trade authorities. And their program was that, how India is prepared to have the skilled people into the system. That's what was their critical part, because they were funding the project. I don't know how much is the progress. But the best part is that I went through the American system of, the skilling process, which is very, very important for all of us. The gap between the learned and the learning is hardly anything over there. If L&T is there, they have to just contact a training partner and say that I want 3 people operator for these, 3 mechanics for these, and 3 mechanics for this. And that is how they just order the people onto them and say that these people have so much of experience for this equipment. The trained operators at the skilling system, they are deputed to them. And no amount is charged. The salary is understood at the same time. But what makes the difference is that, when an operator starts working in the system, the training partner starts getting the royalty the per hour of his operation. And then the sustainability of the training partner continues, because they train and put the people onto the job, and experienced people. I mean, it's not that, they're half-cooked people. They're fully cooked people. And that's how the system works. There is no question of government coming in, modalities coming in, all that part of it. It's a very, very important point. The user industry is requesting for operator from the training center, and the training center deputes them. This includes equipment, construction site, everything, all types of, the jobs are concerned. This was an excellent program, sir. Virtually, these guys are superb in their approach, superb in their quality of job that is being done. And then the viability, because most of the training partners in India, viability is the biggest problem, especially for our type of training. Because, if you want to train an excavator, if you have to choose between excavator operation, 20 liters of diesel in 1 hour, nobody can sustain without somebody paying for it. That's a very important point. This is how the system moves on. We need to get into that, sir. There has to be a belief and then the trust between the user industry and then the training center, mature training center, so that, we can carry on and bring out a new system into this country.
Mr. Andre is smiling actually at you, like, you have almost created a Uberization of manpower. Like he's just talking about Uberization of cranes, It's really great, yeah, and it's a dream come true.
Absolutely,
it's a great visionary, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Amol. You have this toughest job of training. I agree with you, but then you know that there is a balance needed between theory and practicals.
Yeah.
Right. Then how actually you are aligning them, like how do you balance that with hands-on experience? Can you just help us to understand?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody in this industry where we are involved with a lot of machinery, we will know that not something theoretical will never work. The people are they have to dirty their hand, they have to dip their machine, use the hand and move levers, fill oil, drain grease bearing, everything has to be done. So that's why we in our training program we have a complete we provide a full machine with a full access to the operators or the trainers, so that they can look at every component, handle, manipulate, so that they are learning properly. And while we are doing this, we also we take training safety as a very important part of training. We also give the proper guidelines. These are the safe practices. What are the protections to be taken while we are approaching a machine, while we are taking a round around the machine, and while we are operating. So there is a practical. First we take a theoretical, obviously, and then we take it to the our shop floor or a training ground where the actual machine is standing, and then they are given. Similarly, when we take our trainers to our trainees to our shop floor where the machines are being assembled, there also they get to see the actual thing happening as what was taught as a concept, or what was shown as a process or shown as a schematic. Now they are shown the actual thing, and if possible. And when they are in field, they are also allowed to set up the machine to do that. So there's a good mix of theoretical and hands-on. To further enhance and re-emphasize, we have also taken up immersive virtual training using latest devices like MetaQuest VR set. That further re-establishes what they're learning through a more where they can even manipulate more and understand better, and through a much more quicker process. Yeah, that's how we have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Rajan,
yeah. Thank you very much. No.
Can I add to what
Want to say something?
Yes.
Can I add to what
Yeah.
Amol just said? So our qualification packs, which are basically designs of course curriculum for various job roles, they've been structured in such a way that there is classroom training, hands-on training, and practical training. So the ratio is 30%, approximately 30% or less, a little less than that as classroom training. And the balance 70% will be a mix of hands-on training, which is on a stationary machine, plus on-the-job training, which is actually operating the machine in a simulated environment or a natural job environment. And as Mr. Mohan pointed out, these training costs become very high because you are deploying capital intensive equipment, plus there is a fuel cost, a consumables cost, etc. So many of our training centers have actually evolved into centers that also provide AR, VR based training, simulator based training. So you cut down the actual expense on the in operating the equipment while not compromising on the training. So it's a blend of all of this that we deliver in our course designs.
I was about to ask you that question, what role do you believe technology and digital platforms can play as, in scaling skill development efforts across India? You have almost, you have already shared a few points on that. Would you like to elaborate more on that, sir?
Yeah, so
It's very important actually in your area. Yeah.
So technology by itself, the technology that is incorporated in our equipment demands that our course content and curriculum need to be constantly upgraded. So, and when I talk about the technology course content and the skills, digital skills that are required, it's not just in operating the equipment. So we'll have to look at the complete value chain of the industry, starting from the design and manufacturing, the distribution, sales, and then the equipment operations that we are talking about currently, and of course the product support department, what kind of technologies that they use. So there are many things that we have factored into these programs, and we have made some plans for the future. Basically, the industry had commissioned a technology roadmap for our industry up to 2035. So when you see the technology evolving and this technology roadmap evolving, we also see that along with this technology, the people also have to upgrade and evolve. So a kind of a time, a plan has been made, a roadmap has been devised, and how to build in these skill sets. So, for example, in equipment operation, increasingly you will see, connected machines, autonomous machines. Already we have mechatronics, remote connectivity on the machines, machines that talk to each other, connected machines, preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance. All these technologies have already come into these equipment and they are constantly evolving. So that's the technology on the equipment. Now, how to deliver this training also is a consequence of the technology that is being used. And I mentioned it briefly, of course. Almost every OEM training center, including Bhaskar's training center, they're all equipped with all kinds of simulators. And there are simulators that are very expensive. Just as a ballpark, 80 lakhs to 1 crore is the cost of these advanced simulators. But then the good news is there are also smaller solutions, cheaper solutions that are being made available because of these startups that have sprung up across India, where these simulators can be customized and made at a much smaller cost and made available to the smaller training centers. Because one has to remember that not all the training is happening at the OEMs. So there may be about 20 OEMs that are contributing to skilling through their state-of-the-art training centers, but we work with a lot of private training partners. We work with a lot of ITIs, small, academic institutions, which also deliver training with not so much of investment in infrastructure. So our job is to link them with OEMs so that they can contribute in some way, in terms of components that are lying around in their factory, used equipment, or prototypes that they may have available, so that these small training centers can also evolve in tier 2, tier 3 cities, smaller towns and taluks, and then give them, maybe a technology solution like a simulator, which can be made available at not a capex investment, but cost per use. That is the other trend that is coming in. So you don't have to make a huge capital investment. So these are some of the trends that are, currently underway.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Bhaskar, Mr. Vijay took your name. Would you like to add something to what he said? What impact do you think that evolving construction technologies will have on the future skills required in the industry? Would you like to share your thoughts?
Well, I think he has pointed out most of the points, but still, I would like to say that the rapid evolution of this construction technology is really going to impact the future of how we do skill development in this, particularly in our industry. Today, if you see the construction equipment, most of them are having digital diagnostic system At least even the basic, even you take the cars, they have all digital diagnostic system, which needs at least some sort of digital literacy on the operator side, at least to identify the error codes and take it up to the supervisor level. Like that, they need some basic need and skill sets. But you today, if you see, most of the operators they bypass these systems to more conventional way of maintenance and troubleshooting. But this is not going to help for a long time. I mean, like this cannot happen in the future where the construction equipment are becoming more smarter equipped with automation system, AI assistant, robotics like this. So to operate and maintain this construction equipment, I think the operator needs to be skillful enough, and they must be really surely trained in the skills such as digital literacy, data analysis. These are all going to become a must, and that means the basic level of the qualification, the basic qualification of the operators also has to be upgraded, or maybe we have to look at operators who are going to be trained at a higher level, more better than IIT, ITI or diploma holders. So this is one main thing that has to be there, because these operators and technicians will need to interpret and interact with the digital models, contributing to a more efficient planning and execution. And one more thing is that because of the advancement of the autonomous equipment and AI-assisted construction machineries, the operators need to develop a new skill in programming, troubleshooting, maintenance of these advanced technologies. So this has to happen, and for that, the trainers, we ourselves or the training institute or the model agency, they themselves have to equip themselves with the modern training methodology. And he has just mentioned about the simulator. We must go a step further again up using VR technology, augmented reality. These are all going to be very, very common in the future, where training will take to the next level. So this is one more trend that is gaining momentum, is the operation of the construction equipment from remote areas. This has already been practiced in China and other places, where the operator need not be physically present in the machine, but he will be operating the equipment from a remote location. But even for that, he needs a skill set where he can be able to take the real-time data from the equipment, and he'll be able to interpret the data and give commands which will make the operation more efficient and safety. So I see this is where the future training skilling has to go to cope up with the latest construction technology that is making the machines more smarter. More smarter the machine, the operator and the others also need to be very smart to operate this machine.
It's amazing, and it sounds music to our ears. Like, one side person is talking about connected projects, connected equipment, AR, VR, and, autonomous equipment, digital literacy. Oh my goodness. Let me also share one experience. Like, I was in the US just wanting to see one 3D system. Then guy took me to an operator, and he was a motor grader operator. I went, I spoke to him, like, come on, how do you do that? By the time his supervisor came, he said, he just gave one USB to him. Then he said, come on, okay, Mr. Rajan, I'm going to demonstrate to you, like operator. So he went, he put that USB, and he said, okay, my next location is around 5 kilometers from here. These are the levels I'm supposed to work, and from this distance to that. Oh my, amazing. It was really amazing. Like, then that is the thing we brought, and then I started implementing it in India. And today, airports, we don't do anything without a 3D system. And this, I'm talking about 7 years back. And now we are yet to really mature. I think Mr. Ratan has started introducing in this area also. So yes, sir, AR, VR are the future. It is the future of our industry, and we need to do that. So, Mr. Andre, you have heard all these things, all right? Now, this is the question to you, sir. How does MyCrane address the skill development of crane operators, especially when they are hired through an online platform where, you don't have a touch with the people, right? Over to you, sir.
Please unmute.
You'll have to unmute, please.
Sorry, thank you for the question. Actually, my Crane takes a proactive approach to ensuring that the operators, although not directly hired by us, meet the necessary skill requirements. We support our suppliers by offering them access to the detailed guidelines on the qualifications and certifications that operators should process. Additionally, we provide suppliers with resources and the tools to facilitate ongoing training and skill assessments. By doing this, we help ensure that every operator offered through our platform meets the highest standard of proficiency and safety, even though the employment relationship remains still between supplier and the customer. That's how we do it.
Oh, that's nice. So you qualify the operators like Uber qualifies the drivers. That's really great.
Yeah, this is part of what we are doing. Correct.
That's really great. Great.
To make all these OEMs, I mean, they're all sitting in front of us. So when it comes to transforming these trainings to ground level, so a lot of times we see, though we buy one of the best of the equipments for the companies, for the applications, but what happens when it comes to actually using it? A lot of times we find, I mean, OEM could have made a package of those training along with the equipment where your man is there for 1 month or 2 months, deploy that people, train our people there, because not only one guy, because today what happens at the site level, you don't have multiple operators or extra operators available at a site. It is already recommended, like, I mean, if you could deploy those trainers along with the machine so that, they're there for a month and then that is efficiently being used at first place. Otherwise, what we see, though we buy the best of the equipments, but tomorrow you'll have a complaint that this is not working, that's not working, the way you present it to be. So, I mean, these are few things which I would always recommend the OEMs when it comes to training.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Well, so it's time to share a little bit of success stories, like, because from skill part, normally people take it for granted. And only when they find that, they are losing something, then they come to an industry or come to a kind of institution and ask them to train their own people. So in this environment, IESC is playing a very vital role. So, Mr. Vijay Kumar, will you be able to share some success stories where IESC's interventions have significantly improved the workforce skills in the construction sector?
So, I just want to qualify the word success because it could mean different things in different scenarios. So, for example, an equipment owner, if his operator increases his efficiency by a certain percentage, there is success. So, our programs that are run have benefited the industry, the owner of the equipment or the contracting company, and also the project itself, which has improved its timelines, etc. That's one type of success that we would obviously love to see. The other type of success, which is perhaps more closer to many people's heart, is how do you transform people's lives? And that is an area where we find a lot of satisfaction. We work with small training partners in small towns where the school dropouts, uneducated people, or people who have not gone beyond the 8th standard, we put them in our training center, not owned by us but an affiliated training center, and we see the success in the fact that these youth find employment and they're able to be a breadwinner for the family. So again, this would not be possible without support. All these training programs need to be funded, right? That's a key aspect of it. So we try our best to get funding from corporates through their CSR funds. State governments have their skill development programs, maybe those projects. Central government runs its projects, government projects too. So some of this funding is done through these schemes, and we help in those small towns, people gain livelihoods. So that's a second way of looking at success. The third one is the big ticket items, flagship government schemes like the PMKVY 4.0, which is currently running. Last year we did a project for the Ministry of Housing where more than 7,000 people have been trained in the construction sector. So the government took a target of 1 lakh people to be skilled in the construction sector. which includes in construction as in basic masonry and bar bending and so on, and also construction equipment operators and technicians. So there we made a significant contribution in terms of skilling a number of people, and the contract, of course, which was funded by the government, included employment. So we had to track employment for the next 3 months. And the fourth success that we also see are projects that are undertaken by our manufacturing companies through their CSR funds. Like I would like to take 2 examples. One is the Komatsu factory in Tamil Nadu. They run at least 4 to 5 batches of operator training for lady operators. So it's a kind of a focused initiative to transform the lives of the women in their neighborhood, in the locality where the factories operate. So that is a very focused initiative. Lately, we also see other companies that have taken up, even in mining areas, a full shift of operators and technicians run by women. So increasingly, the scope and range of these skilling activities is widening. Looking at a focus on women, for example, focus on certain districts, aspirational districts as we call, so that we contribute to the development of that sector, and so on. So these are some examples of the successes that we have seen in transforming people's lives, as also transforming businesses.
Fantastic, sir. I think we should bring out an article on lady operators. In the inclusivity part, training them and putting them on, and then you are saying on complete unit is running with lady operators is something amazing.
Yeah.
You have really sent a very strong message to the entire audience over here. That's great. That's great. And Mr. Amol, you also must be having a lot of because among all of us, you are a big man with a lot of countries around, right? Can you share your recent examples, where your training initiatives have led to some tangible improvements?
Yeah. Definitely. We have recently launched 3 years ago the Frana cranes. The Frana cranes are the original safe cranes which are involved in pick and carry. This is a concept where it is still a nascent stage in India. The construction segment is still using not so well balanced and not so well balanced safe cranes. So when we took out the initiative of launching this crane, we quickly realized that there is a big stumbling block. We realized that operators are not trained enough for these kind of cranes which have SLIs and all these articulation sensors, and which have all the safety features built in. So we thought that before launching this, we had to launch the training program for operators for these machines. And thus we did the full training program. We took guidelines from that IESC training. It was very helpful. I discussed with Vijay sir also on this, and it was very helpful because it has a very comprehensive way of breaking down into bite-sized small items where the operator should be given. And we took out the training, and we are seeing a distinct improvement. Our customers are actually helping us and telling us that this has helped, and the site operation and safety in the site has changed. So this is one of the very live example I can give you.
That's great. That's great. When you put yourself in customer shoes.
Yeah. And I think IESC, I cannot thank enough IESC on this, providing all the guidelines, and almost the content is given. We have to just elaborate the content. The step-by-step procedure given is very nice.
That's nice. Mr. Vijay Kumar, you are getting a lot of screen space. Thank you. When they are talking about success stories, Andre, what's your challenge now you're facing, in promoting the safety and skill development in an industry that's increasingly going digital, my friend? Can you share your views?
Yes, thank you. One of the significant challenges in the increasingly digital industry is ensuring that safety and skill development are not compromised as more operations move online. So at MyCrane, we tackle this by empowering our suppliers with the tools and knowledge they need to maintain high safety standards and develop the necessary skills. We provide digital resources such as training documents, safety protocols, the best practice guidelines tailored to help suppliers manage their workforce effectively. Another challenge is ensuring that these digital tools are used to complement but not replace the hands-on training that is essential for the crane operator. We should not be naive. Digitalization cannot change to replace real training. Can only be complement. So by supporting suppliers and integrating digital solutions with traditional training methods, MyCrane helps them to uphold the high standards of the safety and skill in the evolving landscape. So this is the main challenge we see, that we should not replace standard approach with the digital, but to complement it. That's the main thing to do. That's what we see.
That's great. Thank you. So, Mr. Bhaskar, you are not from an institution. You are a manufacturer. Still, you developed around 3,000 people, right? So, what kind of challenges do you face?
Because it's something which I always would like to talk about, the challenges, because we do face a lot of challenges in training our operators and technicians, especially in the site conditions or in collaboration with the state government skill councils. But before that, the common challenges that we normally face with everyone is that you will find that the varying literacy state and the skill levels of the operators who are coming for the training, they have diverse educational backgrounds and skill levels, which makes it challenging to prepare training material. And our trainers, of course, we do address it. Our trainers are now becoming more multilingual capable trainers, so that we can address this challenge. This is one thing. And the most important one more thing is that the accessibility and the infrastructure limitations, which poses a big issue when we go outside the factory to train the operators. So reaching the operators and the technician, first of all, in the remote area itself is difficult. And then with the limited infrastructure, including the training facilities and the equipment, it can pose a big challenge in providing hands-on training opportunities for them. So this is also a challenge. Then I think you must be aware that the cost of training, the high cost of training with our type of equipment is really a pinching area, where our advanced equipment, construction equipment is expensive. You take the case of boom pumps, batching plant, and other equipment, which are cost incentive, and it requires a lot of running cost, such as machine downtime, fuel consumption, wear and tear. So balancing the need for this, doing the training, and also the cost consideration, it is a big challenge for me, and I have to balance it and do this. What we do is we address this issue on the practical front. On the job training, we tie up with local RMC players who have the entire setup of machines with them. We tie up with them, take our trainees in batches to their site, provide them 1 month of complete on-the-job training. At the same time, as in return, we train their employees on periodical basis. So this is one thing, is a challenge which we are addressing to some extent. But the most important thing is that I think Mr. Mohan has already addressed that the mobilization of the candidate. We are willing to train the candidates, find them job opportunities. I told you that we have trained some 300 operators. All of them are employed. All of them are employed, and they are most wanted also. But the candidate mobilization is a big problem, wherein we coach them, we sensitize them on the kind of job opportunities available in the construction equipment industry, but still they would like to have a job next door to their home. So it's really a very tactical thing, where we have to convince them and bring them to our classroom and do the job and get them certified and make them employable. So these are some of the real challenges that we are facing at present. And we have been discussing this with Mr. Mohan and with Mr. Vijay also, that they should also combined effort of finding candidates for training should be a priority.
Good. Yeah, like you have actually mirrored all my difficulties. Thank you. In fact, when it comes to austerity measures, the first thing that gets axed is training.
Training.
Like, training cost goes out of the window. Like, I think we are cruising very well. And last two questions now. We will give the honor of last question to Mr. Mohan. But then before that, Mr. Ratan Lal, we all have been talking about people from uneducated background or medium educated, but you normally deal with a little bit of educated people. So what are the challenges do you feel in your line? Like, can you share your views? It's muted, sir.
So today, what I see, since the infrastructure is growing left and right, so a lot of sectors have opened now. Railway station redevelopment has opened around thousands of stations are there which has to be redeveloped. I mean, a lot of other infrastructure, water works are getting. So what we see, employee retention of good people, is a big challenge today, because the opportunities every resource has today is something which we always face an acute, now and then, that is an issue always. So there is always a poaching going on this industry. But though, I mean, for a company also, it always remains to be like how you retain the people, how you keep them motivated, how you do a career planning for them. So, and apart from this now, since there are a lot of digitization happening in the industry, so every company feels like we should be the front runners. So to be a front runner, you need to have the skill set of the people, like especially on the AI tool, the B2B2 integrations, which most of the OEMs have today, your IoTs. So, analyzing those IoTs, though, I mean, there are a lot of such platforms available. If you have the data, the system, the platform does those analytics. But still, viewing those analytics, doing those forecasting, analyzing the consumption pattern and all, especially we supply chain guys are the supporting function. So we're the softest target. If the project doesn't perform, so I mean, it's the supply chain who has to be called first. So this has not come. So yes, I mean, these are the few things which we face. So gradually, I mean, we are trying to have robust systems, trying to have some good retention plan for the people, good resources in the industry. Trying to get into those automations where we have this B2B IoTs, like Tata's have e-Dukaan and all. So we are trying to use those things so that the risk of getting into any manipulations, getting spurious parts, or getting higher prices, having a very clear clarity on the ETA of the deliverables which has to happen. So, I mean, yes, all these things we are trying to capture on, we're trying to support the main core business who brings revenue to the companies. I mean, that's our duty also as a support function today. Yeah.
So you say that you get beaten if you don't train the people. So in your own interest, you'll have to train them, right? Thank you. So here goes our last question to the most senior person again, Mr. Mohan. Sir, what advice would you like to give to the current and future leaders in the construction equipment industry on skilling and workforce development?
Very nice, sir. Extremely nice. This has been going around, it's been, sir, there is, you see, as an industry, we are yet to evolve, sir. What Vijay said about a lack of machines we sell, we require 2 lakhs of operators. That is something, which is very, very creditable for the industry to move forward. There is an industry like IT or plumbing or tourism or, the other part of it. Mr. Kashyap was saying that, why don't you train our people for a couple of months and then give it to us? Sir, this system already exists in the other sector skill councils, where the people are fully trained for your job role and they are put into you straight away. You don't have to wait 2 months to get a boy trained or train him on the job. Most of the people are get used to the things. The part of infrastructure equipment skill council, there are 3 or 4 factors that comes into the process, sir. One is the OEM, and OEM is, even till today, they are set of a mind that, we have made the machine, we have supplied the machine. And what next, is the customer loyalty that he has to take care of his machine. That's one part of the thing which gets into the system. The OEM need to take some extra precaution or extraordinary stretch a hand that, they are not only the equipment, they give the trained, certified operators or mechanics to go into the system. That's a very, very critical part. That has to be evolved, the part. The second part is that how do we do this? There is no system today to record the safety of the equipment that we are working today. There is no safety, nothing is recorded. It's all submerged. When the accident happens, it all gets closed within the system or within the site itself. That has to come into the process so that, the boy or the candidate getting into this part of it, we talk about safety. But I don't think so. There is enough of, light onto that, how this has to be measured. This has to be taken care of. After all, it is somebody's life. We need to work for it. That also establishes to work with the government of India that, you need to put the things in place. Government of India is not ready to, they are mandate the skilled operators. We have taken up in most of the forums. They say, look, industry should take the lead and do the process in the system. But if we evaluate this process and say that, look, sir, these are the things that we will go to cover it up and make do part of it. You require a license to drive a scooter, sir, but you don't require a license to drive a heavy equipment. This is what exactly is the thing which is happening. That has to be come into the forefront. And we need to make sure that, people get into the system, they learn the process. And then the third part is that, they get the supply and demand side. If the guy gets a job, I am very, very sure that, he gets into the system very quickly into the part. The last but not the least, we are to go back into the system to evolve our trained operators, what we are certifying, or become global players. Because there's huge opportunity coming up across, which has already been done. In fact, we did their training in Abu Dhabi with our standards, what we are prepared, well accepted. So we have an excellent opportunity that, these people are put into place and they get an opportunity abroad. And that makes the system much more vulnerable. People will find a way to go into our skilling process. That's what I think.
Very, very, very nicely summarized, It's really great. So the biggest message what you are giving is to the entire ecosystem is that license to operate, like license to kill, it's license to operate. We need to have this. So we love to provide the license for operation. It should not be, left unattended or neglected. So it's so nice. So dear panelists, so nice of you. Thank you very much. Actually, we are carrying a lot of information, through this particular 1.5 hour session. If I can simply summarize the diversity, like lady operators, AR, VR, connected site, OEM support, customer loyalty, 360-degree training, and then, international footprint through our RANDRE, and the Uberization of not only equipment, but also people, safety of equipment, the level 7 being treated as an engineer or a graduate, CSR support, and then, enhancing the lives of the people through training and power electronics, and finally, license to operate. These are few things I'm carrying today to my kitty, and certainly I promise I'll try to implement all of them in my environment. And being within that time is an amazing thing. You can see the time is 5 o'clock, and that's the time limit given by Mr. Pratap Patode, and we need to live up to that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Pratap, for such a wonderful platform you created to share our thoughts. And it's really great. It's a great honor to the industry you're exhibiting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues.